Everyone, today we are in beautiful South Arlington, Virginia, and I am sitting at Barcroft Park where all kinds of baseball games and trainings are going on with high school kids and middle school kids here behind me. So you'll be able to see a little bit of that as I chat. My name is Melissa Terzis. I'm DC Real Estate Mama, and I talk about all things living in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if that's your thing, you can hit subscribe so that you can get notified of my next videos. And if there's anything you have questions about, feel free to comment and I will get back to you. All right, so let's talk about South Arlington. The location, first of all, it is west of the Potomac River, just on the other side of DC. The northern border, the northern parts go all the way up to the Potomac on the north end, and Arlington is home to Pentagon, Reagan Airport, as well as the future home of Amazon. So Arlington is split into two parts, north and south. If you can find Route 50, Arlington Boulevard on a map, everything south of that is South Arlington. Above it is North Arlington. And coincidentally, the street names will have an N or an S corresponding to which part of Arlington they are in to help you figure out your surroundings and location a little bit. So let's talk about some history first. Arlington used to be part of surrounding Fairfax County, and it was also part of the land that was given for the capital. But by the mid-1800s, as slavery was at the forefront of the brewing Civil War, the folks in Alexandria realized that they had no congressional representation. And if they ceded back to the Commonwealth of Virginia, they would pick up two new representatives who favored slavery. So initially, it was called Alexandria County, everything including Arlington and Alexandria City part. But all of that was super confusing, and it became Arlington County in 1920. So did you know? Arlington has no incorporated cities or towns within its borders. Arlington is the county, everybody's mailing address is Arlington, and Arlington itself is not a city. But there are a ton of neighborhoods in Arlington that we are going to talk about. All right, so you have Pentagon City and Crystal City. Pentagon City is pretty much Pentagon Mall, as well as some of the surrounding streets. Crystal City is the area just to the east off of Route 1, and it's got tons of hotels, condos, high-rises, and Route 1 is really a pretty main road through there. It also includes Aurora Highlands and Aurora Hills. They do single-family homes to the south of Pentagon City and Arlington Ridge. There's Penrose, Arlington View, Alcova Heights, Westmont, Barcroft, Douglas Park, Shirlington, Columbia Forest, Arlington Mill, Glen Carlin. The blue and yellow metro lines head south out of DC into Pentagon City and Crystal City. And don't act like you just caught me and say, aha, those are cities. They may have a city in their name, but they actually aren't legit cities. And believe it or not, it is a Virginia state, or Virginia Commonwealth as they are called, law, that they would function, that any cities function independent of any county. So Crystal City and Pentagon City are not actually incorporated cities, it's just their name. Now when compared to North Arlington, South Arlington is a lot smaller in land area, it's more residential, and the commercial areas are spread throughout. There really is no main drag like you have in North Arlington of Wilson Boulevard and Clarendon Boulevard. Now, before we talk about anything real estate, we have to talk about BA and AA. That is before Amazon and after Amazon. So South Arlington was really overlooked for many years. It was the not so cool little brother to the more sophisticated North Arlington. But then Jeff Bezos called and he said, save my seat, and it went through the roof. Prices used to be more palatable here, sort of, and then Amazon announced they were coming, and the Amazon effect is real. So places like Pentagon City and Crystal City, they had lots of high-rises with really high fees. That's just because those buildings lent themselves well to having a front desk and concierge services and things like that. They're very full-service kind of buildings. And the residents really wanted to keep those things. So what happens is the monthly fees tend to just go up year after year to pay for those increasing costs. You used to see a lot of those condos just sitting before Amazon. Then as soon as Amazon announced they were coming, those things started getting snapped up like wildfire. It was unbelievable. You've got smaller 2-level townhouses that might be 2-bedroom and then 1 or 2 bathrooms. You can get those in the 400s in some neighborhoods. You can get a single family home here too in the 500s, but of course, if you want to go over $1 million, you can. All right, let's talk about food. Other than the Strip in Shirlington, restaurants and grocery stores are not concentrated in one area like they are in North Arlington along Wilson Boulevard. But you do have Safeway, Giant, Harris Teeter, and Costco here. So for fun, let's talk about the W&OD trailhead in Arlington. This is the Washington and Old Dominion Trail. It is a 45-mile paved trail. It starts in Shirlington in the neighborhood, and it follows the road of a former railroad all the way out to Purcellville, Virginia. All right, want to talk about kids? What's here for the kids? All right, a huge component of the person who moves to Arlington is the person who really loves the urban feel of the county, but also the amenities coupled with top-notch schools. There are 2 high schools in North Arlington, and most of South Arlington goes to Wakefield High School, which is the 3rd high school, with the exception of some parts of Glen Carlin and Forest Glen neighborhoods that go to Washington Liberty, which really hosts a whole lot of the North Arlington side of Route 50. The county spends half its revenue on education, and they have the top-notch schools to show for it. South Arlington is catching up to North Arlington, though. If we use the infamously questionable great schools metric, which is based solely on test scores, and teachers who can teach to the test can, in a way, help those scores get manipulated so that they're much better. You're going to see 4, 5, and 6 in South Arlington's elementary compared to 8, 9s, and 10s in North Arlington. The scores across the board, though, drop for middle and high school. I don't know. Middle schoolers don't like tests. What can we say? So you've got tons of parks here. There's Barcroft Park. Shirlington has Jenny Dean Park. There's Drew Park and Sprayground, Fort Bernard Park. As a resident of Arlington, you also have the opportunity to take advantage of so many activities offered through Parks and Rec classes. They've got camps, and they have really a pretty amazing program that I'm jealous of. I'm sitting here at Barcroft Recreation Center, where there are multiple fields and all these teams playing and practicing. But there's a rec center as well. My kids have taken dance lessons there. Even though I'm a resident of DC, we're able to get in. We just don't have priority, and we don't benefit from a discount in early registration like you would if you were a resident of Arlington. All right, and finally, let's talk about dogs, since I'm a doggy person. If you want dogs and dog parks and trails, you got it. Shirlington has a dog park along 4 Mile Run River. It's pretty awesome. I've been there quite a bit with my dogs. There's even like a little doggy wash nearby, so I've taken them on a walk and then taken them in to get baths. Fort Bernard and Glen Carlin both have a dog park, and Pentagon City has a bark park. So I hope that gave you a good flavor of what it's like in South Arlington. Overall, I would definitely say it's probably the less pretentious, like I said, little brother, little sister to North Arlington. But thanks to Amazon, the rising tide raises all ships. So you will see lots of changes here to come. I still think it's underrated. I like it. I think it's a nice neighborhood, and they've got a lot of nice little communities in here and some longtime residents, and I think that there's definitely a lot to offer here just being part of Arlington County. So I am Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mama. My contact info is coming next if you need anything, and please feel free to subscribe and share if you want, and comment, and I will be more than happy to get back with you. Thanks.